Orbital Guards, Episode 12, Part 1. An epoch is surfable. At Cove, the frogs have several traits and characteristics that each of them share. The vast majority of them are extremely flexible, adaptable, they're exceptional learners, and each of them have a really wicked sense of humor. Beyond these most common features, perhaps their most dazzling quality is their ability to be dropped into uncharted darkness while calmly and rationally adapting and learning the correct step-by-step execution for task completion. There is one other quality that is readily apparent, but this one is more of an overlay to all things. Each of them have incredible imaginations. It's as if each of them can pull a rabbit out of their hats at will. Human beings have very earthly abilities that do separate us from the monkeys and dolphins and robots of this world that can only manifest so far, at least at this particular point in our history. In the now, being team human definitely has its advantages. In the now, our species is caught between not one, but two separate tsunamis. One has been sparked by the birth of the commercial spaceflight industry, and the other is affectionately known as the silver tsunami. This is a source of our great shame, as our first responder communities have dwindled downward towards very dangerous levels. This is all happening just as human capital focused on emergency response tasks was overwhelmingly required. Space engineers the world over are transitioning into their golden years. A new breed of emergency responders were in very short supply, and a call had gone out worldwide for a new breed of experimental volunteers. Towards this end, the talent pool, like the water of this place, flowed downwards. Initially, military personnel from the Permanent Five were asked to step forward. After all, it's safety, security, and then content, not the other way around. In line with this, paramilitary agencies quickly followed in step. From there, individuals from various alphabet agencies also answered the call. Last but not least, traditional fire departments, EMS first responders, EHS professionals, peace officers, and even nationally recognized athletes were tapped. Frogs and OGs at Cove come in all shapes and sizes. It's a pool of humanity like no other. A perfect blend of our best and bravest. And there was absolutely no discrimination at all. Full stop. I mean, why shoot yourself in the foot, right? The regions of the Earth that led our public extension into the cosmos do so largely because their youth and treasure demanded it. We listen to these individuals because it's the work and careers that they chose to move into. It is their future, so we gave them a lot of responsibility at a tender young age. If you recall, the average engineer was just 26 years old during the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs of the 1960s. It should also be noted that the regions of the Earth that surf the epoch with the greatest of ease are those which already have mandatory military service requirements in place. This makes sense, I guess. The 20th century proved to us that all the money in the world could not fix the Western education crisis. But with 2 years of mandatory military service implemented, suddenly a wave of solutions became very apparent. Imagine so many North American issues dissolving with the stroke of a pen. In these regions around the Earth, individuals were stepping forward with clean, open minds, excellent base fitness, positive nutritional habits, and lots of time to plot a meaningful environmental trajectory for themselves. After expanding their worldviews and experiencing their own natural capabilities, many now had a professional outlet to engage planetary stewardship directly. I can only speak for myself, but I don't know. I really didn't know who I was until I was about 27 years old. I wish my home country had 2 years of military service requirements. At 20 years of age, there would have been a very good chance that I would have signed up for an additional 5 years of service. If I could go back to being 25 years old, being healthy, fit, educated, financially stable and aware, it would be a no-brainer. Just saying. Our human capital being applied to planetary stewardship is currently in very short supply. But that tide changes, and we quickly realize how deep the talent pool really is. We are all born natural environmentalists, but as we mature and social responsibilities take hold, the outlets and opportunities to make a living in this capacity become quite scarce. But have no fear. There is no problem that an individual or group of motivated human beings cannot solve, if we do not destroy ourselves. So, the question is, how far are you willing to traverse into uncharted waters?